Hello everyone, welcome back to Time Out. I am Dee. It's really good to be back. I hope you're having a good week, by the way. Okay, so today I just have a really quick message, and it was just something that came to my mind last night, and I thought, okay, you know what, I'm just going to share this. Okay, so and the message is that, because I want to keep this really short because it's a quick message, the message is that true wealth can only be gotten in dirt, in like a dirty situation, in mess, in a shameful kind of situation. I know it sounds like really crazy, but I'm gonna break it down. Like I said, it just came to my mind last night, and it was something I just started to think about, so I just thought to share it. So anyway, that was the message. Like true wealth can only be gotten in like a messy situation and dirt. I mean, I used to hear it for a long time, since when I was like really young, in my local dialect, like, you know, and it's all written up there in different languages, so I mean, you should speak one of those languages, right? Anyway, so I used to hear it, and I never really dug deep enough. I never really knew what it meant. So so let me break it down. Let me explain it, because it sounds like major crazy. So anyway, okay, so you know, there's like you can be rich, right? Like, okay, there's like being rich, which is cool, okay, and then there's like being wealthy. You know, I mean, a lot of people in their lifetime, they actually aspire to be wealthy. Like, so that's like, do you understand? So they aspire to be wealthy, and a lot of people don't actually go past being wealthy, but being wealthy is great. Like, everyone wants to be wealthy, do you get? Then there's generational wealth. I mean, this is like on a different level of wealth, right? This is the kind of wealth, like, you know, your children's children are still kind of like enjoying and still like chilling and balling from it, you understand? So like that sort of generational wealth. Yeah, so that's the kind of wealth I'm talking about. Like that sort of wealth, like, you know, a lot of kids are still balling today on like the 5th generational father's wealth that he left behind. That way you're actually leaving a legacy. So that's different. This is like on a different level kind of thing, so to speak. Anyway, so that's the kind of, you know, that's the kind of level of wealth I'm talking about. So to actually acquire that sort of wealth, it can only be acquired in like, or through, let me not say in dirt, like through, the person has to go through like a messy, a dirty kind of situation, like a shameful kind of situation, to acquire that kind of wealth. And you know, the real question is why? Do you understand? Like, okay, so I've had to look at the lives of those that went through like really, really bad situations, right? Okay, like there's Nelson Mandela. I mean, he went to prison before he became president. Do you understand? So there was somebody else that I looked at it. Okay, my God, I've actually totally forgotten now. Yeah, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, there was this dude, I'm trying to remember his name now. I mean, he was told in school that he would never amount to anything. He could not read, he could not write. I mean, I think today he has a doctorate degree or something. There's like one of the world's richest man or whatever it is that is like, you know, drop out. So I mean, you know, it begs to differ, like, why do people have to go through this kind of situation? And they say you have to put gold to actually get like the beauty of gold. You have to put it through fire to actually get the beauty, if that makes any sense. So I mean, as much as this message is about true wealth can only be acquired through dirt, it's also to like maybe anyone, do you understand, that is going through any kind of situation that you think like, okay, my situation is like, not mine, obviously, like their situation is like the worst kind and nobody has ever experienced it. I'm just saying, sometimes, you know, it's to build your strength, and it's to build your character as a human being. Do you understand? So because, okay, so like, why would they have to go through this? Like, think about it, really think about it. If Mandela had not gone through prison, I mean, he would never have understood understood living through wealth and living in absolute poverty. He would never have understood oppression. He would never have understood the causes he fought for, if that makes any sense. Do you understand? He was fighting for a cause, he was fighting for he didn't want he was fighting against oppression of his people. Do you understand? So I mean, he had to experience it as well to actually be able to govern a whole nation whilst fighting for a cause, if that makes any sense. Do you understand? So yeah, so I thought about it because, okay, so let me quickly break it down. Like, look at people like who do like really bad stuff, like really cold and callous, like maybe do rituals or whatever it is, and this is how you believe it. Like, they can't even repeat it. Like, if a man is doing like money rituals or something, or he did like blood rituals or whatever it is, he can't repeat that to his wife or to anybody. If a woman is like giving ass to do you understand, is like tricking to get a position, or do you understand, sleeping her way to the top or whatever, it's not something she can even repeat to anybody else. So I mean, so even when she's at the top, you know, she's there, but obviously it's not something. Those kind of, like, okay, if somebody does like rituals or whatever, the person can actually acquire generational wealth by maybe investing in properties or something. Do you understand? And they invest in like assets. So they invest. Do you understand? Yes, it is ill-gotten wealth, and we don't know what happens to those kind of wealth. But what I'm saying is, they can also create generational wealth. So you have to go through that sort of murky situation to get to that level of wealth. You have to go through some sort of murky situation, because the truth is that if that sort of wealth is handed over to somebody that is like a novice, that is like, okay, he's so privileged and he doesn't know anything and he has never experienced anything, think about it really. Do you understand? They're going to smoke it. They're going to waste all that. It's like talent given that is buried. It doesn't make any sense. Do you understand? It's like that person might not even live to make it. Do you understand? Because, you know, they don't even know what to do with that sort of wealth. So they have to go through stuff. And like I said before, this is also to anybody that is going through anything and you feel like your situation is very bad. Sometimes for you to get to a promoted place, you may have to go through some murky situations. So, okay. So we've talked about how like ill-gotten wealth or whatever. How do you get this kind of wealth legit? Like I said, for people that can be handed this sort of wealth, they have to go through like really murky situations. So like, if you think like your situation is worse than everybody else's, maybe you're actually in good company. Do you understand? Like, it's time to start looking at the situation in another way. It's time to flip it around and look at the glass rather than half empty as half full. Do you understand? So it's time to flip the situation around, basically, because the more trials and tribulations and afflictions you have, the more your spirit is being strengthened. The more you're being strengthened, the more you're being prepared for like a greater course. So maybe your course is just really great. That's why you're going through quite a lot. Yes, as much as the message is actually supposed to be about the generational wealth, like, it's just something to understand. Like, to get to certain kind of wealth, you have to go through certain kind of things. I think that's the message. Do you understand? So there's been a lot of people like committing suicide, and I hate to speak about that because I don't want to down the energy, but really and truly there's been a lot of people going through stuff, do you understand, a lot lately. And really and truly, if you think, like I said, like your situation is worse than anybody else's to the extent of wanting to harm yourself, I mean, sometimes it's always good to think on the flip side as well, do you understand? Because, you know, normally we're conditioned to think in the negative. So thinking in the positive, what I'm saying sometimes is that when you're being so tested and you're saying, why me? Not the woe is me kind of people, like every single thing, they're like, oh my God, my life is coming to an end, oh my God. No, I'm talking about people that genuinely go through stuff. So when you're thinking like, why me all the time, sometimes it's because your course is actually maybe greater than most. That's probably why you're going through that. So it's just a word of encouragement for today. So well, I think I've been able to keep it quite short. Okay, under 10 minutes. Okay, all right. So do have a very, very good time. Be encouraged. I mean, it's never, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. So I do love you all. Peace. Stay blessed. Namaste.